This is left cerebral hemisphere having three poles: frontal pole, occipital pole and the temporal pole, having three surfaces: the convex superolateral surface, the flat vertical medial surface and the irregular inferior surface, having six borders. This is superomedial border, separates the superolateral surface from the medial surface. Here medial orbital border separates the orbital surface from the medial surface. Here hippocampal border which separates the hippocampal gyrus from the medial surface, and here medial occipital border which separates the inferior surface, the tentorial part, from the medial surface. This border, it is superciliary border. It lies beneath the superciliary arch. That's why the name is given, superciliary border. This is the inferolateral border. It separates the superolateral surface from the tentorial surface of the inferior surface. Now we will see the sulci and gyri along the medial surface. Most important structure seen along the medial surface is the corpus callosum. So this is corpus callosum. It is an example of commissure fiber which connects the two cerebral hemisphere. What are the parts? The most curved part is the genu, the middle part body or trunk, and the posterior large part is the splenium. The genu prolonged downward as a rostrum, and below rostrum there is a lamina terminalis. It represents the embryological remnant of cranial end of neural tube. See the distance between the frontal pole and genu. It is about 4 cm. So genu lies 4 cm behind the frontal pole. Splenium lies 6 cm in front of occipital pole. So this distance is 6 cm. Now see, just above the corpus callosum there is one sulcus. It is called as callosal sulcus. So this is callosal sulcus. 1 cm above and parallel to it another sulcus is there. It is called as cingulate sulcus. So this cingulate sulcus, the posterior end, it turns upward just behind the central sulcus. So you can appreciate here, this is central sulcus and it is the only sulcus cuts the superomedial border just behind the midpoint of the frontal and the occipital pole. So this is the central sulcus. So just behind the central sulcus, the posterior end of the cingulate sulcus, it turns upwards and reaches to the superomedial border. So area between the callosal sulcus and the cingulate sulcus, so this is the cingulate gyrus. So this cingulate gyrus beneath the splenium becomes continuous with parahippocampal gyrus. So just beneath the splenium, this part it is called as isthmus, from where the cingulate gyrus becomes continuous with parahippocampal gyrus. Then this cingulate sulcus gives another offshoot just above the middle of the trunk of the corpus callosum. Again it reaches towards the superomedial border. So the area between this offshoot given by the cingulate sulcus and the posterior upturned end of the cingulate sulcus, this area it is called as paracentral lobule. In the center there is a central sulcus. So this is paracentral lobule. It is higher center for micturition and defecation. Then area in front of that, this area, it is called as medial frontal gyrus. This is medial frontal gyrus. Then in front of the lamina terminalis there are two sulci, that is anterior and posterior para-olfactory sulci, and having two gyrus, that is para-terminal gyrus and the para-olfactory gyrus. Then two important sulci seen just behind the splenium are the, this is a calcarine sulcus. It begins just beneath the splenium. So this is calcarine sulcus. The anterior part of the calcarine sulcus, it is an example of complete sulcus. It shows an indentation into the posterior horn of lateral ventricle along the medial wall. It is called as calcar avis. And the post-calcarine sulcus. It is an example of axial sulcus. Along this axial sulcus, there is homogeneous growth of visual cortex. Another sulcus begins the midpoint of the calcarine sulcus is the parieto-occipital sulcus. So this parieto-occipital sulcus also cuts the superomedial border and appears on superolateral surface. So this triangular area between the calcarine sulcus and the parieto-occipital sulcus, this triangular area, it is called as cuneus. So this is cuneus. Just above the splenium, there is suprasplenial sulcus. So this is suprasplenial sulcus. So above the suprasplenial sulcus, parieto-occipital sulcus, and upturned end of the cingulate sulcus. So this area, quadrangular area, it is called as precuneus. So this is precuneus, this is cuneus. So here you are getting the visual cortex, area number 17, 18 and 19. Thank you.